Hi there, welcome to the live stream. Let's chit chat. Let's talk about investing today. I know it's been a while, and many of you have sent me DMs with questions and everything else. So, I wanted us to take some time today to answer all the burning questions that you have and help you get set up on your investing as well. So, drop your questions below and let's get right into it. Welcome, welcome. What do you guys think about the stock market as it's going right now? Is anyone familiar with what's going on, what's happening? Let's talk about it. I have so much to say, so much to share, but at first I want to actually hear what how everyone is feeling in general with respect to what's going on with the market at the moment. Hi Jude, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the live. Yes, I know the market has been experiencing like a tumble. But if you ask me, I'll tell you this is like literally Black Friday for investors. So if you're someone who is smart and you're serious, now is the time for you to actually jump in and take action because it's like literally the perfect time. Hi, welcome to the live. Someone says no. So far, or I'll say over the last couple of weeks, the stock market has been experiencing some downturns, which I would say is normal when it comes to investing. You don't expect the market to always go up like this. There are times I will dip a little bit, there are times it will go up. It's like a downgrade journey. However, now is the best time for anyone who is serious about their investing game to get in and get started. So that's kind of like what I wanted to discuss today, like to see where everyone is at on their journey and take any questions, any challenges, or any struggles that you're feeling at the moment, and ways that I can, provide maybe some support or some help. Sometimes just even having someone to talk to answer your questions can be the clarity that you didn't know you need. So let's talk about it. Hi. So I hope you know now. And with respect to what's going on in the market, despite the downturn, it's actually still a good time. In fact, if you ask me, I consider this to be like investing Black Friday, literally. So it's Black Friday that's an opportunity that you can actually, if you're smart, you're ready, you're serious, it's buying opportunities. It's like you are getting these stocks and ETFs at a discount. So good time for you to get in and build your investment if you haven't started already. Good evening, madam. Hi, Smokes. What's up? How's it going? But if you haven't started already, I mean, this is your sign. If there's any specific reason as to why you haven't started and you need more clarity, you have more questions, and you just need someone to answer, obviously, please drop your questions below. I'm more than happy to take your questions. Hi, good evening. What's your order holdings? The order is a combination of many other components and ETFs. I have Tesla Gold. I have VOO. I have many other companies in there. Silver. I think I also have silver as well, and some other ETFs and stocks. So the way this platform works, if your stock is not up to 5%, it's not going to be here. That's why. Why do you invest in gold? How do you invest in gold on World Simple? There are several gold investments. So I buy the gold ETF. I do ZGLD, and it's one of the popular gold ETF, but there are other options as well. So if you and I'm Canadian, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned. If you know, if you know, you know. How do I start investing? Where in the world do you reside? Blue. Where in the world do you live? That will determine what apps or what platforms you're going to use for your investing journey. You're welcome. Smoke Lord says, me right now, I'm focused on this year into my favorite stock for now. Exactly. See the most potential to run up the most in my portfolio share. Honestly, that's absolutely what I am trying to do as well. I bought some Shopify stocks. Was it yesterday or Monday? And someone would think that, oh, why are you buying it? The market is down. But for me, it's like Shopify is a company that I hold long term. And if there's buying opportunities, just for me to average my buying price as well. And which other one did I buy? I think SoFi. I don't remember. If you go on my Blossom, you see everything I purchase every day. So tip for you. So if you are someone that is investing for the long term, now is a good time for you to average your portfolio. If you're someone who is a beginner, it's actually a better time for you to even start as well. If you have been thinking like, oh my gosh, when do I don't always say to time the market. In fact, I don't think you can get the perfect time to buy investments, but instead you can take some buying opportunities when the market is down. While you guys are here, please like the live, share the live. Let's like the live. That is one way for you to support without doing so much. Okay. I appreciate your likes, I appreciate your shares and your support for the live stream. So yes, please do. Someone is saying like, do you recommend gold as an investment? Absolutely. I definitely if I hold gold, I definitely think it's a good investment for sure. Blue says, I'm not sure what app. Analyze Interior says she's back. Yes, I know that's right. Guys, I went on vacation and I just got back as well. Kay says, girl, MSD almost fucked me up. Fucked me up. I always tell people there's one time when I talked about buying some certain ETF. That's why I always give a disclaimer because some ETFs are just for leverage or just as they're like high risk, but just a way for you to, drive some growth. MSD, HHIS, some of those ETFs, they're just high income ETF that doesn't give you any form of growth. So anyone putting money in MSD should know what they're signing up for. And MicroStrategy is a one company in that ETF because they are using leverage. But a lot of people don't understand the risk that it comes with. So I'm sorry that happened, but yeah. I also do have MST by the way for transparency's sake. So, but I'm not surprised by the performance. I literally kind of expected it to be honest. Hi, Miss Saskatchewan. But when crypto starts to perform, MicroStrategy would probably do better as well. So what app is that? I'm Canadian, so I use Wealth Simple. And if you're signing up on Wealth Simple, you can use my referral code that is on screen. You're going to get $25. The referral code is underscore ZEIKQ. And if you're already signed up, you can still apply the referral code in the app. Just go to the gift box. As long as you signed up within the last 30 days, you still get the referral bonus as well. The market had been down lately. Trust me, it has been down. But I think if you have some solid ETFs, I mean, you'll be good. My overall portfolio is still high all time. It's still positive, it's still green all time, regardless. So it's just like the temporary dip. I believe in Bitcoin, that's why I bought it. Okay. Yeah. I also do carry some crypto and I believe in cryptocurrency too. So you can hold on, just keep holding. It's gonna be a long wait. The wait can be 2, 3 years, but yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, you're not alone. Someone says, what type of account is this? So I have a combination of many accounts in here. I have TFSA, FHSA, TFSA, RSP, and non-registered. Yep. And it's a combination of different like balances. And I also didn't start the portfolio at the same time. It's a combination of different times. MSTY. Remember, this was the stock that made Jenny Savvy Money Girl block me from our WhatsApp group. It sweet me as it don't crash. The group is now dead. Now my bad side be that. Wow. Please, don't come for my girl, Jennifer. He says he blocked you. I don't know what that conversation looked like, but I mean, me, I'm very transparent to certain things, and that's one thing that I also mentioned, even when I talked about some ETF. The truth is, like, some people just would follow blindly, which is why you also have to always do your research as well. It sucks, but I think Bitcoin might still have a chance. MicroStrategy itself, I don't know, because it's a company, one company. So there's so much that goes into it. If it's like an ETF with many companies now, okay, there's a chance, but I don't know. Yvonne says, can I invest through Robinhood and also through Fidelity? And do I have to invest every month? The short answer is no, you don't have to invest every month. And yes, you can use Robinhood and Fidelity. So you can have multiple brokerage accounts. You can use different platforms as well. It's totally up to you. I used to use Questrade and Wealthsimple. And now I'm actually thinking about having a separate investment for my DIY because I don't want to mix it up as well. So I mean, I think you can for sure. Oh yeah, I hope that answers your question, Yvonne. What's the least amount? And you don't have to invest every month. It just depends on how much money you have and whenever you decide to. There's nothing locking you into specific investment. It's completely your choice. I already have my position filled for SoFi. I FOMOed into it. It wasn't really my type of investment because it's a bank to me. But my friends forced me. So now I'm just holding SoFi until it hits $50. I got 120 shares at $26. What's my average for SoFi? Hmm. Probably around 23 or 24. I don't know, somewhere around there. But 26 is definitely a sweet spot. It has gone as high as 30 something, 32 or thereabouts. So I still think it still has potential. Stuo Baba says, what's the least amount to invest in ETFs? There's no minimum. You can start with $10, $50, $100. It's up to you. There's no cap, there's no minimum. I think the most important thing is for you to stay consistent. So you can start with maybe $50 a month if that's a like if you can, that would be a good start. I want them that last time 150 on dividend is not sustainable. 150% on dividend was not sustainable. They thought I was forming Oracle. Obviously, that's what I always say. Even same thing with some anything. Was MicroStrategy ever paying 150% yield? Oh, I, I never knew it at that point in time. Let me be honest. I never knew it when it was paying 150%, but I knew when it was paying like 20 something percent yield. So I mean, if they have gotten 150% dividend, that means they've already made their capital back. They don't have to stress. They don't have to stress, so they're good. Our advice consistency is key. So investing weekly by weekly is most important, especially if you have small money to invest. 100%. So that's the thing about investing. I would say bi-weekly or monthly at minimum. Some people don't want to continue to do it. They just want to put the money in one time, which is fine. However, one of the benefits you get from investing is you doing what is called dollar cost averaging, where you're buying your stocks or ETFs at different price points in the market, and this gives you a longer term benefit. Will Sophie hit $50? I believe so. I believe so. You started investing at what age? I started at 21. Started at 21, but it's like investing in mutual funds. Sometimes I wonder if I would consider that investment, honestly. But then it's still an investment, really. It was just a way for me to learn. You get what I mean? Learn. Yeah. Let me see if I'm missing your question, please drop them again. And I'm trying my best to not miss all the questions. And while you're here on TikTok, please let's double tap the live stream. Let's get it to 5,000 likes and repost as well. Reposting is free, liking is free. It's just a way for you to support the live and bring more people in. Yes, it was 150% yield. That's why I was shouting that it's bad for sure. 150% yield is definitely not sustainable. I never knew it at that point in time. And obviously, like, hello, is the stock market. It's not. And that's why the reason why they could offer 150% yield is basically because it's crypto. Literally, it's crypto, and they were also using leverage as well. So with crypto, when the market is up, you make money. When the market is down bad, you lose money. And anything that has to do with leverage, that's why I always advise for beginner investors, don't do any investment that uses margin, that uses leverage. And for some people, they get into covered calls. I'm like, yo, you don't even understand what I remember talking to someone, and I was looking at what she investment portfolio, and I saw she carried so many covered calls because she was specifically researching for dividend paying ETFs and got into covered calls. I was like, bro, I don't even know how I'm going to start explaining to you, because covered call, as much as it can make you money, you could also lose part of your capital, because part of your capital is what they pay you as dividend. And they are very transparent with this. It's just that obviously people don't read fine prints. So, and sometimes people just take financial advice from 1 minute Instagram video. So you have to do your research before you just buy into anything. They didn't make their capital back because most of the nerve erosion, which means they would crash the share price just to be able to pay out. Exactly. Literally what I've just said, very similar to what covered calls do. Sometimes they would take some of your capital and pay you back as dividend just because if they're not able to meet up with the dividend promises. So it seems like you're getting dividend, but at the end of the day, you're losing your money. That's literally it. For beginner investors, I know most of the people on this live stream right now, you're beginner investors. That's why I always say As a beginner, you don't even need more than three ETF. Just buy S&P 500, buy a total world or total equity portfolio, and buy one stable one as well. Hey, we've got a live goal, a flash goal. Hey everyone, if you want to support the live stream, thank you. I just joined. What's tonight's session about? This session is we're just talking about investments, answering questions, helping beginners get set up and all of that good stuff. So let me know where you're joining from and if you're starting investing and if it's something you're curious about, I can maybe share some tips for you. Thank you so much for the gifts. Oh my god. You are amazing. Trade like a TikToker. Wow. You guys are making me feel special. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Thank you very much. So exactly. Options are too risky. I do options here and there, but I don't do it often until I understand it fully. Bam. That's the thing. So a lot of people when they get into investing, they just jump into certain things without understanding it. And also, it's because when they see content or videos online, they just take a bit or pieces of it and run with it. And I also understand the two side. I'm an influencer, I'm a content creator. Sometimes I'm really excited to share certain things that has worked for me. And because I understand the risk involved, I might be sharing it in a 2 minutes video that is not going to explain the risk involved to a beginner. But I also try to say, do your own research, or maybe sometimes in the caption I'll highlight some other things to keep in mind when you want to invest in stuff like that. But however, sometimes people don't read in between the lines. They don't read the caption. They don't even pay. Even if you tell people like, oh, this is for only long-term investing, this is for only specific kind of investors, they don't listen. Once they just hear that, oh yeah, you got some dividend or you got certain thing out, or this stock or ETF did so much numbers for you, they just want to jump into it. That's why I'm very wary about just giving, oh, buy this stock, buy this ETF, buy this, because I know if I say certain things, then some people will just take that as an advice and go for it immediately. Meanwhile, me, I might understand the risk involved and you might not know. I might know when to get out of the market. For example, Smoke Lord that just said like, oh, once so far hits $50 per share is out of the market. I might also decide to do the same. Like once it hits $50 per share, I'm out of the market. Meanwhile, if I had made a video about it long ago and I talked about it, then someone just purchases it. And once I'm out of the market, you are not going to know and you just that's kind of why I like Blossom, because if you're following specifically, you see when someone buys, when someone sells, and you'll be able to keep track from there. But also, I think the most important thing is for you as a person to also learn about investment so that you can know what is good for you and what isn't. And that's why I always recommend getting financial or investment education. So you need to learn about investing for your own self. Yvonne says, for Roth IRA, can you access it through different brokerage accounts? Depending on the brokerage account where you sign up or where you put your money in, that will be the brokerage that you have to access the money, obviously. So if you're using Fidelity, for example, you'll be able to only take out your money through Fidelity because Fidelity is where you hold your Roth IRA. However, you're still going to be utilizing the same contribution room across the board. So if you have two Roth IRA accounts, maybe you have one with Fidelity and you have one with Robinhood, then your any money you invest in both accounts, they still count towards your overall contribution, if that makes any sense to you. Smokes, I try to also explain. Loki, that's why I'm kind of I kind of effed with you because you got people right sidely. I can't say the same for your friends. Bro. I get you, Sha. I get you. At the end of the day, people also need to do their homework. I try my best to at least be transparent to a large extent. It's just sometimes people also just need to do their homework and do their research. But also me, I know that like even if you are trying your best to say, oh no, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, people will still take it and run with it. And there's only so much you can do. But I try my best to. But yeah, I get you 100%. And I really appreciate your support and love. It means a lot to me because at least some people are seeing the genuine side. Many people don't see it. So it's good when you see people that see it and they appreciate it. Big respect. Thank you. Oh, Yvonne, so you're not going to have access to it. If you invest in Robinhood, you'll be able to only access that money on Robinhood. You will the two brokerages are not going to transfer your money across the board, right? So the money will still be in Robinhood. You have to access it on Robinhood. If you invest in Fidelity, the money will be in Fidelity. You will not have access to it from those platforms. I hope that answered. Yeah? Okay. Let me see. So you don't see my comment like this. I am so sorry. I probably missed it. How much did you start this portfolio with? I started with like $200. Trade like a car. I started with like $200, and but I built it over time. There are times that I had like 5K in one day. I feel like this week when I added money, probably had like 10K. 10K is a lot of money. I know 10K is not money that somebody random can come by. That's for me. Sometimes I have extra cash, and if I have extra cash, I can invest it. So, and there are times that it's just like $200 I put in there, but then the portfolio has been built over time as well. So that's kind of why. And this is only one of my portfolio. I still have my managed portfolio as well. This is my self-directed one or my DIY one. Let me see. What stock or ETF do you regret not getting sooner? That's a very good question. I actually love this question because it's causing me to think. I love when I have to think. So stock, let's start with ETFs. I think one of the reasons why I'm pro VFV or S&P 500, and I always teach that, is because when I started investing, it looked like investing in penny stocks were the wise move, because then I would be able to it's so funny now that I think about. I'll be able to buy whole shares of the penny stocks. So penny stocks are any companies that are under $5 or under $10, like anything that is cheap, sure. Like under $5 basically is called penny stocks. So back then I would look out for those companies whose value are very, very low, because then it would make me seem like, oh, I have, maybe I put $100 now and the share price is like $2. Then if I put $100, I probably have like 70 units of that share. And in my head, I'm thinking about the number of shares that I have. Meanwhile, in reality, you shouldn't be thinking about it that way. You should be thinking about having like actual valuable companies, right? So I wish when I first started that all of those money, instead of buying penny stocks, all those junk companies, I just put it into the freaking S&P 500. My portfolio will be 10 times better by now. So that's why anytime I talk to people about investing, I always tell them just start simple. Start with S&P 500. Don't chase hot stock or viral stock. And I'm also always very clear that you don't need to have the entire money for you to buy one unit of share before you start. You can actually buy a fraction of it. These are things that I wish I knew when, instead of me looking for those penny stocks that looks like I can buy a lot of shares, I could have just purchased a fraction of the S&P 500 and continued that way, and I would have seen better growth. So S&P 500 for sure. I wish I started with that and not some dumbass ETFs or, or stocks that I purchased. Then stock wise, stock, there's quite a lot of them really, but I think it was like the one that comes to mind for sure is the S&P 500. Is the S&P 500 for sure? That was actually a really good question. I love that. If I have $30,000, would you advise I invest it, say ETFs? Which How would you advise I invest in say ETFs? I would say you can pick like three top ETFs. You can look at something that gives you exposure to the US stock market, global stock market, and maybe something that is stable like bonds, gold, or depending on your risk level, to be honest. It will depend on your risk level overall. So Her Royal Highness, my biggest foundation for you will be an S&P 500, a global ETF or world equity ETF, and maybe something like bond. So that would be like a good balance for you. Otherwise, your risk level would also matter. If you're someone that takes more risk, obviously you can put into more risky stuff. If you're someone who is looking for more like stability, look for something more balanced. Do you take personal coaching? Yes, I do have like one-on-one consultation. The link is on my profile page as well. Yvonne says, oh, no, no, no. Smoke has responded to Yvonne saying, your Fidelity account is your investment from your job, or meaning you invested by yourself, because most time Fidelity, 401k, and Robinhood would be Roth IRA. Thank you. Thumbs up. So what do you prefer? What do you prefer, manage or self-directed, or both? And why? What can you say on that? Travis, you have asked a good question. Like, oh, do I prefer managed or do I prefer self-directed? So I started off with managed, and I use self-directed as a way to learn. The only reason why I still have managed for now First of all, I like seeing that my managed portfolio has grown over time, and I use it to show to people like, listen, if you start with managed portfolio, you can still get a significant amount of results. So more of my money is definitely in, actually, I feel like it's split. Is it split? Probably like 60% of my investment is in self-directed, and about 40% is in managed. Eventually I'll transition to fully DIY. I'm hoping to do that fully this year, but at this time it's kind of a way to prove to people that managed can be very, very successful. And since my managed portfolio is doing really well, there's really no reason to sell it. Maybe I will this year. I fully went DIY for my FHSA last December or October. So maybe I will just also do the same for my other account. I don't know, but right now the portfolio is doing well. There's no reason for me to, sell it. So my strategy is, if you're a beginner who is just learning more about the stock market, I would say you go managed. Then continue to stay curious, continue to learn intentionally, continue to buy slowly. But like, your self-directed should only be a very small piece of the pie where you are using to learn and to practice. But your primary investment should be the managed one until you gain that level of skill and confidence to manage the portfolio on your own. And some people, they don't even just care about investing. To be honest, like, if you're investing, learning how to invest is not your cup of tea, just stick with managed. You don't have to stress yourself about self-directed. I do self-directed just because I'm curious, and I wanted to learn, and I wanted to grow, and I wanted to see like my own stuff grow by myself. So if you're someone whose cup of tea is not to do that, just focus on managed. Palantir for me, man. I have 320 shares accumulated. Oh, I guess this is like share something you wish you purchased early. One side is 220 share at $19. Wow. I'm pretty sure you wish that you got like a lot of it when it was $19 per share. Wow. Now, no matter, I think the market is down for Palantir right now. So no matter how down it would get, you will still be in green for sure, because it's like you bought at $19. That's crazy. Reason why I know they slack on Neo stock: 2,779 shares and counting. Next earning. Fingers crossed. If I no blow, please, when you blow, I beg, don't forget me. When you make so much money, please come and send me your tithe and offering. Send my courts, I beg. Ark even says, which one is managed? So managed is the one where Fidelity or Robinhood will pick the stocks and ETFs for you, or Wealthsimple for those who live in Canada. So you don't have to pick the stocks and investment yourself. They will pick it for you, and they'll charge you a small fee. For Fidelity specifically, I know it's called Fidelity Go, and they don't charge you fees up to you invest $30,000. So that might be a good one for you to consider and look into. On my board for me, in case I fucked up, at least Robo will help out. My Robo share, I do $5 weekly and it's up. Yeah. So that's the thing. So that's kind of the same way I feel about it. It's like, managed for sure, consistent, grows, and you don't even have to. And it's also like, my managed portfolio does really, really well. It's like, that's why I say, I don't know if I want to close it yet, because it's also a proof to people that, guys, you can actually just not do anything with your investment and your portfolio will still perform very, very well. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm up 500%. Was up about 1,000% at all time high. But Palantir is now dancing at 500 plus. Wow, that's actually good return. I love that for you. What would you advise an investor in? Say, Her Royal Highness, this is not an investment strategy call for specifically you. If you have $30,000, do you want me to be telling you how to allocate your $30,000 on a live stream where we have over 50 people here? And everybody has different risk level, different risk tolerance, different budget, different. So if I'm giving you something, I don't know your risk level yet, so I definitely cannot give you something specific, because you're also asking to tell you the exact one and the exact percentage. I can't do that for you on this call because I don't know what your risk level is, right? So, and there are many questions I'll have to ask you as it relates to your fund, your finances, before I'll be able to say, oh, do this, do this, do this. There are some things that, depending on your risk level, you can put money in. There are some things that just don't take that risk, right? So it will depend on you, and I won't want to give you just a general advice on a call like this. What's it called? XRP 500. Oh, S&P 500. S&P 500. So it's the top 500 companies in the US. The ticker varies from country to country. In Canada, it's called VFV. As you can see here, I have VFV of 11%. So that's the S&P 500 ETF. So that's a good one for most beginners to start with. Wait, let me write to. Let me see. What app are you using? I am Canadian, so I use Wealthsimple. I use Wealthsimple. I live in Canada. Depending on where you live, let me know where you live in the world. If you live in UK, you can use Trading 212. If you live in US, you can use Robinhood or Fidelity. Someone was just asking about Fidelity now. So charge for the call. Femi, please, if you're this is standard. I feel like this should be standard across the board. If you're going to come on my Zoom room or my Google Meets that I'm paying for, obviously you have to pay for the call. That's just the reality. So if you want like an investing strategy call, just go on my profile page while you're here, click on the profile image or my profile picture, click on my name, click on the link that you see here. You're going to see my investing strategy call right here. Where is it? Book a strategy call right here. You'll be able to pick your time and your date and we can discuss. So we can know exactly, because I have to ask you questions about your risk level, your income, your savings, all of those things, because it's like an actual plan for you. That's why I can't just answer randomly like that. If you have 30K, you want to be smart about how you're allocating the money and not just taking random TikTok advice or random recommendation. You want to be very tailored and specific for you. So invest, I don't know how much is it called, $100 or 100 and something. Invest it so that you can be investing in the right things. Okay. Let me see. Guys, if you're just seeing me for the very first time, there, hello, hi, welcome to the live. My name is Bisola Weiss Queen. I'm a finance and travel educator from Toronto, Canada. And I do these live streams to teach you ways to make, save, and grow your money. Today, we are talking about growing your money through investing and building wealth. So go ahead and hit that follow button so you can see me and see more of my content. And I do live streams to answer questions to help people get started on investing. Many people have joined my live streams and they never knew anything about investing. They got started and they were able to start building their portfolio from scratch. Okay. My own investing journey started a couple of, actually almost 7 years ago now. And so far, I've been able to build a portfolio worth over $400,000. And my mission is to help you all also get started on your journey. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm 18 years old with Roth IRA. 18 years old with Roth IRA, VTI, taxable VOO, VXUN, QQM, HYSA, and credit card tips. This is so many questions in one thing. I don't even know what your end your question eventually is. Are you asking if you should be investing in these things? This is guy, I'm going to read this question again so that maybe I'm tripping. 18 years old with Roth IRA, VTI, taxable VOO, XU, VXUM, QQM, HYSA, and credit card tips? Question mark. I don't know. Is that a statement or a question? I see the question mark, so it seems like it's supposed to be a question. So, Zayad, your question is incomplete, or whatever you have shared is incomplete. Please complete your question. I know you've mentioned some ETFs, and I know you've mentioned Roth IRA, and you have mentioned 18 years old. What the HYSA, and credit card is doing in that statement is what I'm confused about. So please provide some more clarity as well. I'm asking for advice. So what are you asking for advice about, if those ETFs are good, or are you asking if you should be investing at 18 using your Roth IRA, or are you asking to give you tips on how to manage your credits, or using a high yield savings account? Like, I don't know. What are you specifically asking for? So you just pasted all of those things. You asked, can I give you advice? But you did not make clarity. How many years did it take you to reach 200K? Actually, my portfolio is what double of this. But how long did it take me to hit that number? About 6 years. 6 years. Yeah. 6 years. And 6 years, I think 6 years for most people is not the average. I have to spell that out. When I was even saying I invested 10K yesterday, I have to be clear that it's not the average for most people. So I'm not acknowledging. I'm acknowledging that it's not the average, and I know, but it's possible, and that's one of the reasons why I do these things, to help you guys see what's possible and what's out there. Let me see. For me, I would advise for 30K. I would say put 5K in NGC or VTI and ETF. I'm biased on Palantir, so put 5K in Palantir, 5K in Amazon, 5K in Nvidia, and then dollar cost average the remaining 10K whenever the stock goes below. That's a tip from Smoke Lord on Instagram. Below your average and invest maybe 500 each whenever it goes below your average. In my opinion, I love the in my opinion in all caps because it's like this is my own opinion. Though, do whatever pleases you. I love that. At 18 years old, I am jealous, envious. If you're already investing, lucky mother effort. Starting early at your age. Honestly, if you're 18 years old and you start investing, definitely you're really, really doing well. I'm proud of you. Some of us wish we started at that age. I do those things in general, just advice. Sorry to confuse you. Oh, so you mean like you already have those things in place, you already have those investments, you have a credit card, and you also have a high yield savings. How did you get a credit card before 18? Because I mean, maybe you're turning 19 soon, so you already had a credit card because you need to be 18 for you to get a credit card unless you're under your parents. God, I think you're already off to a good start. You seem to have very solid financial background, and I love that you've even started already. You're staying curious as well. If you're asking questions, you're staying curious, so that's good. Um, the only thing I would say for you is maybe try to put it on automation or autopilot and just log off, have fun, focus on enjoying life. If you can have some more money, dollar cost average, add some more money as time goes on. The more money you have, continue to put into your investment and stay curious, prioritize building your investment. Obviously, you are at a good sweet spot. So you want to continue to do that as well. Let me see. Where do you normally buy your stocks from? I use Wealth Simple, and if you're Canadian, you can also use Wealth Simple. When you sign up on Wealth Simple, you can use my referral code. Queen. And how much did you put down? So I didn't put in the entire money. That's also another thing I need to point out. I never had 400K at once. I never had 200K at once. If I had, where would I even see someone to give me 200K at once? No, I never had those kind of money at once. It was slow build, 200 here, 500 here, 3,000 here, 1,000 here, and so on. And that's how the portfolio grew over time. So it wasn't like a one-time contribution. And I also prioritize building my investment portfolio because it's like something that I knew that, oh my gosh, I love investing. I love seeing my portfolio grow. I'm planning for my future and all of that. So anytime I get extra cash, for example, tax season, when I file taxes, if I get extra money, I put it in there. Whenever I got like bonuses from work, I put it in there. So it was just like a priority for me. Instead of spending money on random shit, I just put money into my investments. Oh, an authorized user on a parent's credit card. Yeah, I thought as much as well. That would be the only way that you would have gotten a credit card before 18 if you was an authorized user. Hello, hi there. Thank you so much for joining. Travis Mba, most ETF pays dividend. It's the sectors that matters. Good. That was a good answer. And S&P 500 pays dividend is probably the most popular one as well. The 18-year-old person is already richer than us by the time he or she gets to 30 years of age and above. Yes, that's why I say you don't need to do anything. Just gotta live and just enjoy life because you're far ahead of most people. I see people on YouTube, they are watching silently, they are not asking questions, they're not typing anything. I see every single one of you. Please type. Let me know that you can hear me. Okay. Don't just be there silent and quiet. Say something in the chat so I can know you all are hearing me. I have Wealth Simple account. How can I use your code? When did you sign up? If you signed up within the last 30 days, you can go into the gift box at the top right corner of your account and just apply this code underscore ZIKQ and you get the $25. But you need to have signed up recently though, if you already have the account. How do I use the app? I'm clueless. Sign up, open an account. It's very easy to sign up. I mean, download the app. Then when you download the app, you complete the process. They'll ask you for your name, your SIN, your address, all of those good stuff. Then you can also open a TFS. A TFS is tax free savings account. And yeah, and when you sign up, also when you get to the gift box, put in this code. That's how you get the $25. Oh, you just downloaded it. Southwest Realtor says I just downloaded it. You live in Canada, I assume. For you to have been able to download it, that means you must live in Canada, I assume. Because it's only for investing in Canada, like for people that are investing from Canada. Please repeat, how do one use your code again? You go to the gift box at the top right of your account after you've completed your sign up process and you apply the referral code. It will ask you, do you have a referral code to claim? You say yes. Then you put in the code underscore ZEIKQ and you get the $25. My question is, I live in Canada. Okay, that's good. My question is, how much did you put down and what has the benefit grown on top of it? So, for example, you can see if you do 215K minus 47K, that's around 160K. So that means that this actual portfolio, the investment cost is, or the principal amount is 160K, and the profit has grown by 28%, which is 47K. So my gain here is $47,000 in total. Now, if it's a different portfolio, obviously you see the performance that way. So whatever you have in green is usually your return. So for example, in this particular, what is this one? VFV, my return is 1700 in profits. So the green is your profit. That's the benefit that grew on top of it. Okay. Do you trade options? No, I do not do options. I don't do options. I'm more of a long-term investor. I hold for long term. If at all I sell, maybe just to take out the fund for something else or to divest from some specific company. Because sometimes I feel like I'm over invested in specific industries, in specific countries, and all of that. So if I'm trying to balance out my portfolio, then I might sell some that is already making positive and put the money into something else. Or maybe I just need my money. Sometimes I just need my money too. But I'm more of a long-term investor. What specific, please, oh smoke lord? I don't know. What's the person's name again? Somebody is asking the 18-year-old, are you white or black? I want to find out something. If you want to answer the question, please, you're welcome to. If you don't want to, you're welcome to skip as well. What specific dividend for someone in Canada? So, like, you're looking for dividend paying stocks or ETFs if you reside in Canada. I believe Smoke Lord literally just answered your question. He said most ETFs pay you dividend, and the foundation one for you to start with is the S&P 500 VFB. So that's a good one to start with if you're looking for dividend ETFs. There are some other ones as well. There's DVY, there's IVV, there's so many other ones. But then it will depend on like what kind of investor you are as well. I feel like a lot of people tend to chase dividends because they don't understand the other value that comes with growth investments. So you want to first understand it well and what's involved before you decide that, oh, I want to hold more dividend. You can buy dividend stocks or ETFs that are still primarily growth companies, or not growth companies, I'll say, that are still solid blue chip reputable companies, but also you need to, like, I need to understand what kind of investor you are really. Correct me please, your investment for Roth IRA can't be taken until 59, 60 years, but any, I'm trying to read this question, hold on. No. Correct me please, but your investment in, why do I keep swiping it down? Oops. I don't know. I don't even know what I pressed. Looks like the whole thing just refreshed. Like the whole chart literally just scrolled all the way up. Oh yes. Correct me, please. Yes, your I can't even read anymore. Correct me, please, but your investment for a Roth IRA can't be taken until 59, 60 year old, but any other investment account can be accessed. Are they also taxable? No, no. So any money you put in your Roth IRA is considered to be after tax, and because it's also an individual retirement account, it's like you setting money aside for your retirement, so you can withdraw the money whenever because you have already paid. Is think of it. I don't know why U.S. government they call it retirement accounts because it literally does the same thing that our own account in Canada, TFSA, does. The money you're putting in there is after tax income. So you can take out the money whenever you want. But also they call it specifically a retirement account because um like you there's a lot of conditions surrounding it. They also have like penalties as well, depending on when you take out the money too. So but it's more of a tax-free savings account, basically. Taxes is lower. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Do you do one-on-one classes for this? Yes. You can book a one-on-one strategy call with me. Yeah. So once you click on the profile picture here, it brings you over to my page. You click on the profile picture again. On this link here, you're going to see investment strategy call, and you can book a call with me, and we can take a look at it and discuss further. Southwest Investor, yes. So Roth IRA is taken as retirement, otherwise you'll be penalized. So Money Talk with Dr. Lina, that's an interesting name. I love that. Says, oops, oh, sorry. Says you can take out the money from. So here's the thing. I think it operates more like the RSP that we have in Canada. You can take out the money, but you are going to be paying taxes at that point in time of withdrawal. And it might be like penalties. I think they have penalties if you withdraw after before 59 or before 60 years old or something like that. Can you also buy VXUS international stocks and VUG? Or someone is telling you, Tito is saying you can also buy VXUS international stock, VUG tech, less volatile than QQQ. I actually personally like QQQ. I actually like QQQ because it has more tech stock, like you said, but also these are companies that are already top 100 on Nasdaq. I don't think it's as volatile. I feel like the QQQ actually performs better than VOO. Let's check that. QQQ versus VOO performance last 10 years. Let me see. I'm just trying to pull that chart up. Let's see. This is actually going to be a fun one to see. Over the last 10 years, QQQ has significantly outperformed the S&P 500, driven due to the heavy growth tech stock, roughly over 21%. See, compared to VOO. Why are you people sending this? Compared to VOO. So yes, I actually do think it's accurate. Over the last 10 years, QQQ has outperformed the S&P 500. However, like Tito said, it's very volatile because it's exposure to tech companies. And in as much as the tech industry has been booming over the last 10 years, it's also risky. So it comes with a lot of risk as well. But I mean, a technology global age, so it's kind of expected that the tech industry will continue to perform significantly well. There were times there was consumer goods that were performing well. There were times that, at some point, I actually thought renewable energy was going to be top out there, but looks like a lot of people don't give a shit about the planet like we think we do. I actually don't give a shit about the planet like we think we do, but um personally, I think a good mix of both can be good. Definitely prioritize the S&P 500 because that gives you like that safety net and that cushion. But QQQ can be also really, really good for long-term growth. Oh, VUG is what I'm saying. Sorry. Oh, VUG. Sorry. I just saw what you meant. Let's actually see VUG and S and VOO. I'm curious. Vanguard Growth has also performed. Let me see VUG and QQQ. QQQ has still outperformed VUG, but yes, I understand what you're saying in terms of like that's less volatile. It kind of makes sense for sure. This is why I lean more in tech in all my investments. To be honest, tech at the moment is currently um is currently top performing industry if we're being honest. However, it also comes with its own risk as well. So we have to keep that in mind because it makes it more volatile. Look at the way the market is moving right now. Shopify, for example, was over an all-time high of over 220 something. And right now it's 150 something. Imagine that kind of that's such a very huge transition. Meanwhile, you wouldn't find things like that with some certain companies, right? You still see a bit of stability with those kind of companies. So not everybody has that stomach for that kind of downturn, even though it would always correct itself. Not everybody has that kind of stomach for it. However, it's also something to just keep in mind that if you're investing in more of tech stock, there'll be a lot of volatility in the market. But in the long run, it will be rewarding. In the long run, it will be definitely be rewarding. Um, the Canadian tech stock is a good one? Well, is it the obvious Shopify. Many people don't even know Shopify is a Canadian company. It actually is. There are many Canadian companies. If you don't want to invest in specific Canadian ETFs, I'm sorry, companies, you can buy the Canadian ETF that has the top 60 Canadian companies, which is XIU. That's also a good way to, instead of over exposing yourself to individual Canadian companies, you can buy the Canadian ETF that gives you exposure to top 60 Canadian stocks. I think that would be a better alternative to investing in individual companies. QQQ, oh, QQQ versus VO. QQQ has higher risk and higher returns. Period. Really enjoyed it here. Thank you so much for sharing this wealth of knowledge. Thank you, Dr. Lena. I actually do love the name Dr. Lena. I think that's really cute. Thank you so much for joining the live. This was fun. I hope to see you again. We just come in here to yap and talk and answer questions and help more beginners get into investing. Yes, you can't invest in QQQ and put emotion. You have to remove emotion because I still feel like investing in QQQ is even still safer than buying the individual components inside of QQQ. If you ask me, just imagine someone that put money in Shopify in January and now it's like you would have you have a sleepless night. So if putting money inside that ETF is even better for you than buying just the individual stock. It would send you into coma. That's why I always say to buy ETFs and not stock because many people cannot stomach the downturn that they would have to face when they buy those ETF. Trust me. Hello guys, it's my first time here. Hello, welcome. Be sure to hit that follow button so you can see me and more of my content. You are a risk taker. Someone else would have sold me. So okay. That and also part of the reason why I have that level of confidence is because Shopify is well researched for me. Like I've understood the company. I know they've done multiple stock splits. Shopify has hit $1,000 per share before. Then they did a stock split and came back down. And it's a company that I think will still continue to perform. And that's why I would still invest in it. However, some people cannot stomach the risk that comes with it. Because I purchased Shopify first last April at $111. So like I already know that I've made good profit from it already. But then, you have to understand what you're doing when it comes to investing. And I think your risk tolerance when it comes to investing will build over time. It's not something that, from day one, you'll be a high risk taker. No. The reason why people always start with low risk is because they don't understand it yet. The more knowledge you gain as it relates to investing, the more confident you become, the more risk you start to take because you understand things more and better instead of just taking risk blindly, right? So you're now taking more intentional risk, more calculated risk. You know what exactly you're putting your money into, and you're not taking crazy stocks. I say crazy stocks, crazy risks. I know sure say she dey read Instagram comments. Hey, see talk. I know sure say she dey read Instagram comment. I am reading both ways. Like I'm even reading on YouTube as well. What do you guys want? Oh boy, this life, you cannot please people. Do you know how many questions I've responded to on Instagram that you think I'm not responding to Instagram comments? The TikTok comments are just more, and because there's more people on the live, they're engaging really, really fast. So obviously, I see the TikTok more. Do you have a class I want to join? I'm new to stock and it's sweet. So I do have an investing masterclass. If that's something you're interested in, I can share with you. It's $75, I think. Let me know if you want that. I can share with you so you can get the access. I need mentorship. I think you'll be just fine with the investing masterclass. Provides more than enough details for you. And if you need something more tailored for you, you can book a one-on-one session with me. Joe Blink say just stick with the ad to the investing world and follow them investment people. Travis Mba says, what are your text investment? I mean, you're not asking me, you're asking Smoke, so I'll let him answer you. Amazon over Shopify. I got Shopify, but it's only money I got in there. So five. I do have Amazon as well, but I think also because I'm Canadian, there's that bias towards Shopify because it's in Canadian dollars one, and also I actually do like the company. That was my dream company. That was the company that I wanted to work for. If you ask me, "Oh, where do you want to work?" 5 years ago, I would have said Shopify. So maybe there's also that bit of bias there. Let me see. Let's not forget Google too. Yes, Google. Google is up there. Google, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia. Which other ones? Broadcom. These are really really solid company. Can you reduce price? The price is already reduced. Is 100,000 naira, $75, 100 Canadian dollars. Simple. This is literally peanuts money for many of you. This is money that you spend at the club with your friends. This is money you spend on food. These are things that are not bringing money back to your pockets. So when you learn investing, investing is a high value skill that you continue to have for your lifetime, and it's already discounted at that price. I understand if it's not the right time for you, completely understand, but that's the price. What are the best but risky stock that you can invest that you can recommend for high growth? I literally just said it right now. Um, is Shopify on World Simple? Yes. Please don't go and jump into Shopify because I said I actually do like the company. Like I said, I'm a bit biased as well. So yeah, I mean Shopify is available on World Simple. The ticker is shop. If you want to type shop, you'll find it there. But I Shopify is definitely one solid candidate. It's probably let's actually see XIU, the top one. XIU is the ETF that's XIU Holdings. Let's see what companies are inside XIU. So for anyone who doesn't know, XIU is Canada's version of the S&P 500. It includes the top 60 companies listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And now I'm taking a look at it. Shopify is actually the second highest holding in that ETF. Right now, Royal Bank of Canada, RBC, is the highest. Shopify is next, which makes sense because it's a Canadian company. And TD Bank is number three. Enbridge is number four. And the other companies goes on. Most the top 10 is Canadian banks, really, which is crazy. But yeah, that's it. Saplat in Nigeria is doing great, by the way. My Nigerian investment is actually doing really. I've been thinking about making videos about it, but bruh, like I'm so busy these days. I haven't had time. I'm thinking about make. I have some solid investment that is doing well in Nigerian Stock Exchange. I've been thinking about making videos about them. Let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share. XIU is good. Yes. Is XIU different from VFV? Ada Willie, welcome back. I remember your name. I remember you very, very well. See me, I know my serious student. I know when they show up in class. How have you been? Abeni, how about VFV? VFV is also really good. XIU is top 60 companies in Toronto Stock Exchange. So for Canadian companies. So you know how the S&P 500 is top 500 companies in the US? XIU is the top 60 companies listed on Toronto Stock Exchange. Canadian stock market in the global stock market is only about 2 to 3%, so you can't expect anything too crazy. But over the last 2 3 years, it has actually outperformed the S&P 500, which is solid for us. So definitely something to consider, especially if you're Canadian. Do you have a code? Oh, sorry. I have VFV. Do I need XIU? VFV is primarily US companies and XIU is Canadian companies. So if you want, you can definitely consider adding XIU to your portfolio because it's not overlapping. Yes, so I can get both. Yes, it's not overlapping. They have different companies in there. I'll pay for your one-on-one session once I get a job. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely send me. The link is on my profile page. You'll always be there. So whenever you're ready, take your sweet time. No rush, girl. You can book it by that point in time. Hopefully, it's not the price has not gone up because child, every single day my schedule gets busier and busier and busier. So I keep removing more and more time from my one-on-one calls. But honestly, at that time, if you don't find any date and time that works for you, I remember your name. See, as I remember your name. So message me. In case you do not see availability, message me. I dey cut my jokes into half now. I go report you. My mama say I don't find Christian. Please don't kill me. God forbid bad things, Nigerian stocks. I don't think Nigerian stocks are bad, mostly because I have Nigerian audience. In fact, that's primarily the reason why I looked into it, because I have a lot of Nigerian audience that are always asking me, Nigerians in Nigeria that are looking to invest in the stock market. And because obviously they earn in Naira, for their Naira to go far, they want to invest in Nigerian stock exchange. For me personally, I only invest the money that I have in Naira into Nigerian stock exchange. I wouldn't take out my money from Canadian dollars, then convert it into Naira because I want to invest. Do you understand? It's money that I have in Naira, maybe from stuff back home, money that my parents give me or whatever, whatever. Maybe I also want to invest for my mom. My mom is the primary driver of the portfolio. So that's the only time that I put money in there. But me personally taking my money in Canadian dollars to invest in Nigeria, no. And it's not because I don't think the stock market is great. I actually think Nigerian stock market is doing really, really well. It's just for me personally, I don't have anything I want to do with I don't have anything I want to do with the Naira. Most of my expenses are in dollars, right? So you don't need Yankee money to get US stock. However, you can beat both inflation and deflation in Nigeria in Naira with US stock. Completely agree. So what Smoke Lord is saying is that even if you are investing using Naira and you are investing in US stock market, you can beat not just inflation, you can also beat the devaluation of Naira by investing. Actually, that's a good video idea. I can actually think about that as a video idea. Let me put it in my notes because really it is so tea. Not only are you beating inflation, you're also possibly beating the devaluation of Naira as well. I'll add it to my notes for anytime I want to make videos. So sometimes I always look for video ideas, but this is actually a good one because I completely agree. I advise my friends in Nigeria to invest in US stock market. They are all happy now. And they only think about US stock. Obviously, if you start early and you have somebody to guide you in the right direction, as a Nigerian in Nigeria, you investing in US stocks is definitely a very, very good value add for you. It's just many people don't have that guidance, and many people are also they feel safer with investing money in Saplat, Okomu oil, like these companies that they are already very familiar with, as opposed to telling them to buy stocks in Walmart, these companies that they are not really familiar with. So I also understand that bias, but it's definitely worth considering if you ask me. Which US stock market is good to invest in? So all the things we've been saying, Joe, you have not been taking notes. All the things we've been saying, we've literally spoken about many stocks, many ETFs, many companies that you can add to your portfolio in the US stock market. And now you're still asking again, like what? Omo. Which US stock market is good to invest? Can you mention like 5? I feel like it's you on both platforms. Oh yeah, it's you. So it's you on TikTok, it's you. There's this TikTok meme that is like, I don't know if you guys know, if you have to be chronically online for you to know that TikTok meme. But that's me. For US stock market, I would say mostly to answer your question, so it doesn't seem like I dismissed it, because I never want anyone to feel like their question is silly or is dismissed. So to answer your question, we've spoken about different stocks, and my recommendation as always is to put money into an ETF. That gives you better safety, more diversification, and more growth as well, growth potential. So you can look into like the S&P 500, you can look into VTI, BUG, QQQ. Those are good ones to consider. However, if you're looking out for specific stocks, then I would say like stocks from blue chip companies like Amazon, Tesla, maybe not Tesla these days, to be honest. But Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Broadcom, and companies like that are really, really solid. How do I start to invest in Canada and what stocks can I buy? Your first step is to download the app Wealth Simple. And if you're using Wealth Simple, when you sign up, use my referral. Take a screenshot of this. Don't take a screenshot of my money in my bank account. That's a joke. Take a screenshot of this. Apply this referral code when you sign up. Go to the gift box in your account. Put the code there. You get it $25. Free money for you. Easy money. Easy first money for your first investment. Then once you sign up on Wealth Simple and you open your account, you use the referral code, then you can open a TFSA, tax-free savings account, then buy your investments or buy your stocks. Okay, so Miss Princess, do you already have Wealth Simple? Tito says for those who want to invest in Canada, sorry, in Nigeria, Presco, Adderall, Sapla, GTC Co, Stanbic, Zenith, MTN, Better Glass are really good ones. So if you guys want to look into them, be sure to do your research and consider adding them to your portfolio as well. Thank you so much, Tito. You're amazing. You are amazing. What stocks do you hold? If you want to see my entire portfolio, is available on Blossom. You can check it out there. Oh, someone was typing all of the stuff in the chat. BJ says nothing wrong with Tesla. I still own Tesla. I probably still have like I don't know how many units of Tesla stock, but I still hold Tesla. It's just it's just the way the CEO is moving these days. I'm not liking it. Maybe it's just a personal bias. But Tesla is still listed in the in the S&P 500. So for it to still be part of the top holdings, it's probably part of the top 10 holdings in S&P 500. What does that tell you? It's a good one. That's why sometimes I always say you don't want to invest based on bias, right? You want to invest based on fundamentals, see what's working, market performance, history, and all of that. Don't do stuff based on bias because what I just said was based on bias. Let me see. Yeah, I have Wealth Simple. So if you already have Wealth Simple, then open your TFSA. That's your next step. If you just signed up on Wealth Simple over the last 30 days, you can still use the referral code and you get the $25. Mm, sure, carries belt ready to flog you. Me, I don't understand though. The market is like now the big stock are for the market is like buying Gary meat and goat meat from Obalinde market. Nigeria no get tech. Reason why I no value Nigerian stocks. Only sector performing in Nigeria is only banks. Reason why I don't see Nigeria as a good investment, and I can debate this all day. Same way you don't believe in Sophie as well. So that means you just have a thing for not believing in banks. On the contrary, to counter your opinion, Smoke Lord, in Canada is known to have some of the highest or the best performing financial services in the world. And in the XIU, which is the Canadian version of the S&P 500, which is top 60 companies listed on Toronto Stock Exchange, about 5 of those companies in the top 10, they are what? Canadian banks. Okay. They're Canadian banks. So what does that mean? A significant portion of this ETF is driven by the banking sector. So we have TD Bank, we have Royal Bank, we have Bank of Montreal, we have Bank of Nova Scotia, and we have Canadian Imperial Bank, which is CIBC. 5 of the 10. So 5 of 10, they are financial services. Someone is not going to like that. So many people are not going to like that because it looks like almost 30% of it is into financial services. So for some, do you also know, by the way, before we get into that, by the way, do you know that before before tech companies became like the hot or the hottest or the biggest drivers in the stock market, before that it was always financial services. Financial services are like the top for several years. Banks, US Bank, JP Morgan, all of these companies in UK, US, these are the biggest, largest companies in the world before tech came and stole the market over the last 10, 15 years. So I don't think financial services are like not good. I think it's just where the market is headed right now. More tech companies have outperformed financial services, and as a result of that, it makes sense to put more money in tech. So for anyone that is looking to put money into financial services, actually XIU is a good one. I've never actually thought about it that way, but yes, XIU is a good one. And I also think some Nigerian oil companies are also performing well, not just the banks too. I'm a fan of Elon, but I need more conviction on Tesla. I'm not buying Tesla again until I see the robotic move. But with EV, Tesla is down. Hoping emerges Tesla with SpaceX. Only reason I'm holding. Hmm. That's an interesting perspective. I think for me, part of my bias is just because Elon Musk is a radical CEO and he just needs to fucking shut his mouth up at this point. Whatever his actions and inactions is moving the market for Tesla, which I don't like. I don't like when the CEO has such stronghold. I feel like the company's performance should be based on not just their financial reports or their sales or all of that, also like the innovation, what is coming up with the company and all of that. I don't like when CEO tweets something, then the stock market is swinging here, and that's like my bias as to why I'm indifferent about Tesla these days. But I still have Tesla stock, and I'm not selling. So, and also another thing is with EVs, Tesla is still the number one, but then they need to be more innovative these days. I need them to come up with something new. I do like the Cybertruck though. I do like the Cybertruck. I need somebody to come and like my husband to buy me one. I need to get myself a Tesla before the next 5 years or whatever. Okomu Oil is just there, haven't moved since last year. I hope the dividend is high. Um, I think as last year they had really good performance. Maybe you, like you say, it hasn't moved since last year, so probably looking at year to date, but it's considered to be one of the reliable ones in Nigeria. Guys, if I missed out on any of more of your questions, if I miss out on any of your questions, maybe we'll take them some other time. I don't have any more. I need to go to bed. It's almost 10 p.m. and I have my bedtime set these days. But I just wanted to come in here. It's been a hot minute. I just wanted to come in here to chat, to answer your questions, to give you guys more clarity, also help you know that no matter what the market is looking like right now, the people who get the best return on their investment are those who wait, not making emotional decisions, and stay patient, stay consistent with their investing goal, and not don't make emotional decisions. Investing is for long term, like I always say. Don't let short term dips in the market impact your decision on whether or not to invest. And if you have not even started, now is even the best time for you to start. All right, my friend. Any final question before I call it a night? This is your last chance in the next 5 seconds. Any final question? Any final question? Any final question? Smoke Lord says, plus Robinhood and stock portfolio apps are kind of getting into the banking system. Then crypto, yeah, I don't see long-term financial growth for banks. Don't you think that banks are also expanding to those things? Because banks these days, they no longer offer just banking services. They now also offer investment. They also offer insurance. They also offer mortgage. So they do beyond even credit. I mean, already banks used to offer mortgage and credit card and all of that. But they now do beyond just offering banking services. They now do more of financial services in general. And I think that's one of the reasons why TD is one of the top Canadian banks, not just because they have good performance in Canada, but even they have freaking companies in US. I went to the US, which when um a week ago, last week. What am I thinking? Last week, and I saw TD Bank freaking office, like a TD Bank actual bank with ATM. And I'm like, bro, is this not the same TD Bank? I've seen Scotia Bank in Costa Rica before. So these are Canadian banks that are doing numbers in other countries as well. So they have moved beyond just offering banking services to specific locations, specific industry, or specific just banking services. They are now doing general financial services, which is what I absolutely love. Hi, Patricia. Patrantia. That's interesting. It's my first time here. Welcome, welcome. Yes, please go ahead and hit that follow button. I'm glad to meet you. Unfortunately, we're already wrapping up for the night, but hopefully some other time you run into me again and you stay notified as well. One day I'm going to join you. We go argue small. Please, I don't like to argue. I'm a soft babe, I beg. I just come in here, talk my shit. Don't argue with me because I know they like fight. Please, Jeje Layewa. Be gentle on me. I'm not about to argue. Tito, it moved. Was asking about when I bought it. I don't know what that conversation was about. I'm not sure what you all are chatting about, but it looks like you all are mentioning yourself, so that's good. That's good. Um, are you talking about crypto? No, we're talking primarily about stocks. Barb's, welcome. It's been a hot minute. How have you been? Oh, we're talking about Okomo oil. Okay, okay, cool. Okay. I added in January. It didn't move for a while, but it moved this week. I love that you guys are doing all these conversations and all of that. You see, you guys are becoming a community. I love that. Period. I love that. Hopefully, I can join early. I need to learn more about investing and finance this year. Love that. Lovely. All right, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the live stream today. This was fun for me. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow again. If you have questions, definitely come in and bring your questions in. And maybe tomorrow we'll do a class and we'll do step-by-step walkthrough on how to get going on your investing journey. While you're on the live stream here on TikTok, make sure to hit that follow button. And once you head over to my page, click on my profile picture. Once it brings you over to my page, click on my profile picture again. You can click on this bell. What is bell? Once you click on this bell, what it does is whenever I go live, you'll be notified. So click on the bell button, click on notify. Then whenever I go live, you'll be notified that yeah, WeScreen is going live right now, so that you can join the live and not miss out. Okay. What time, please? I don't have a set time, honestly speaking, for when I do my live stream. So that's why I recommend you go to my profile page, you click on the notification button, so that whenever I go live, you can see me live. Click on the bell. On Instagram, it's pretty much the same thing. There's a bell, but when you go to my profile page, you see a bell. Just click on it. Then whenever I go live, you get notified that oh, which screen is live. You can join now and ask your questions. I don't have a set time for when I go live. Okay. All right, my dears. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a good night. Okay. Bye bye. Oh, have a good morning, depending on wherever you're joining from. Bye, guys. Bye, y'all. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Let me do this heart sign. Someone needs to take a screenshot of me like this. All right, guys. Bye. Cheers, everyone. Good night. All right, bye, everyone. Cheers. Good night. How do I end this?